Hey there.
Hey, hi.
We're here at the Sony Online Entertainment booth, waiting to get some little demo of DC Universe Online and the agency.
The agency, yeah.
It's been a busy morning already, though.
It has.
Went and
What did
saw,
we do? I don't remember. Oh,
you guys went and saw some EA stuff.
right, yeah. We went to EA this morning, and I played a multiplayer Red Alert 3 match against someone back at EA headquarters who was instructed to let me win. So I get to play around with the units.
So did you win?
I did win.
Very
Yeah.
good.
The unit descriptions in that game are very good,
Yeah.
and it's very easy to tell who wrote them.
And from that,
Skated,
oh, yeah.
played that. That's bounce board. It's fun. It seems like really easy to pick up regardless of which of the three control schemes you use.
How does that feel compared to, like, does that really capture Skate to you?
It is different, but it does have a lot of the same stuff, so that's pretty cool. And then we went and did some interviews and other stuff,
Did you go see Disney?
Yeah, we went and saw Disney and played Pure
Yeah.
ATV racing.
How's that looking?
Really good.
Does that look really
Yeah, it
sharp?
looks really good. It's got
Cool.
similar kind of preloading mechanic you expect an ATV game to have. Good looking tricks, great looking environments. I think Pure is going to be pretty hot. So.
And then Brad here got to interview the man, the myth, the legend, Dennis Dyack. Brad, how was that?
Denny D laid it down. Hey, here we are, day 3 of E3, still alive somehow. I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend,
I don't know about that. Thanks for having me, man.
Dennis Dyack of Silicon Knights. How's it going?
Great to be here. Thanks.
Cool. So you guys are showing Too Human here, obviously. I was curious where you guys are at in development. Has it gone gold? Or are you still making tweaks? And if so, what kind of refinements are you making?
Gold is imminent, actually. So we're in the final stages where we're just waiting to see if it's passed.
So where do you guys go from here? I mean, you've talked about the planned trilogy. Do you dive straight into the next one? Do you take some time off and think about where it's going, or?
No. Well, we know exactly where the trilogy is going. That's already pre-planned. We've got some other things up on the horizon that we haven't talked about yet, so there'll be some exciting stuff that way. And so we'll be taking people on some twists and some turns. One of the things I've been saying a lot recently is we're really want to make sure that our games are all very different. So, Legacy of Kain was very different from Eternal Darkness. Metal Gear Solid to Too Human, and then our next one that we announced is going to be very different than anything else we've ever done too. So, it's those kind of things that I think really keep it fresh for us. And of course, we'll continue with the trilogy. And everyone's always asking us about Eternal Darkness 2, all that stuff. So, we'll just keep rolling.
Can I ask about it too?
You sure can.
What's up with it?
Can't tell you.
Bummer. Okay. You've expressed some pretty strong opinions about E3 in the past, about the way games are presented there, and you mentioned the show. The show this year has really changed in a kind of a bizarre way. So, what do you think about how it's working out this year, and how do you think it'll change again next year if they even have one?
Yeah. So I wouldn't categorize what I said about the press as necessarily being an E3 thing, but more about the way the industry's structured, and we do previews and reviews and all that. I think that needs to change, and it had something to do with E3, but more to do with where the industry is currently structured. But I would say in general, I like this format of E3 because it reminds me. It reminds me of Hollywood. If you haven't been to Hollywood before and you go to Hollywood and you go down and it's like there's nothing there, but the perception of Hollywood outside to everyone who watches all the Hollywood shows and all the stars, it's almost a state of mind. And E3 now is very similar to that because it's not as rushed, it's not as crowded. You guys can do much better coverage now, and the outside impact is much better, and it seems just as big, if not bigger. But on the inside, it's more manageable. We can talk about things. We can have better interviews. We can do things like this. Where before it was just the chances of us doing it this 3 years ago never could have happened. So I think this is a very positive step forward, actually.
Cool. Very good. You've recently explored some sort of creative promotional opportunities for your game.
Really?
You've been getting out there in the community a little bit.
Oh.
Could you tell us what sort of led you to that point? How that came about?
Well, I wouldn't call that promotional, and I don't think too many people would. I guess I sort of would categorize it as a stand against. I really think, and this really ties into the themes of Too Human, that people do not understand technology and the effects of technology on society. And here we have, everyone thinks, as an example, let's quickly talk about reciprocity, that technology increases our ways of communication and helps us communicate better. It certainly allows us other formats of communication, but it doesn't let us communicate more. We lose the reciprocity. This face-to-face that we're having now some of the reciprocity is going to get lost on the camera when people watch this video. But also when you start posting on forums and all that stuff, it really loses more and more. But it is affecting things. So I just wanted to stand up and say, hey, this is having an effect. And I think someone needs to say something about it and move on. And I've said my piece with it. I'm kind of done with it now. But I really hope that it starts to point out that these things are influencing everybody, and we need to understand them for what they really are, which is really not very reflective of anything real.
Okay, cool. And lastly, I'll just ask if you have a prediction for which way the forum tags on NeoGAF are going to go in about a month and a half.
Oh, I don't want to comment on that. We'll let them decide for themselves, and they can try to moderate their own little world there.
There you have it, folks. Dennis Dyack refusing to comment. I didn't think it could be done, but I think that's a perfect opportunity to sign off. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you so much for having me.
Thanks.
All right, very cool. So yeah, now we're here at SOE. We're gonna see this stuff, and then I think we're gonna go run off and see as much other stuff we can before the show ends at 4.
Yep.
So let's go get to it.
Hey, hi. E3 is over.
We're back here at the hotel. It's about 4:30. Show ended at 4. Shorter day than the other 2 days, so we didn't necessarily get to see quite as much stuff. LucasArts, we got to have some brief demos of the Star Wars Clone Wars,
And Star Wars Fracture.
and Star Wars Fracture, and Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
No, you mean Star Wars.
Star Wars. No, it's Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. Star Wars. Those are all very interesting looking Star Wars games.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn it.
Whoa.
We saw SOE, which is the last time you saw us, and that was an interesting appointment to me because we didn't really get to see a lot of the games they were showing off, DC Universe Online and the Agency, two MMOs they're working on, but they both seem like potentially really interesting MMOs.
I have really high hopes for the Agency.
Yeah, that seems
actually,
awesome.
I think DC Universe Online sounds like it could be totally rad as well, but the Agency could be amazing.
I think DC Universe Online is maybe a little more ambitious, but I really also like what it is that the way that the Agency is structured with these two kind of factions that are competitive but not necessarily
they're business rivals,
not enemies.
Not gun each other down rivals.
Yeah. The look of the game is nice. It's all action oriented, so you shoot a dude and he falls down.
It's an action MMO that does not have classes.
It's true. Okay, no, I will say that totally showed up a few other times as well. But verticality, man, getting up.
What else?
Guys.
We talked to Dennis Dyack.
Hey, here we are, day 3 of E3, still alive somehow. I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend.
I don't know about that. Thanks for having me, man.
Dennis Dyack of Silicon Knights. How's it going?
Great to be here.
All right, very cool. So yeah, now we're here at SOE. We're gonna see this stuff, and then I think we're gonna go run off and see as much other stuff we can before the show ends at 4.
Yep.
So let's go get to it. We saw SOE, which is the last time you saw us, and
What else?
guys.
We talked to Dennis Dyack.
Hey, here we are, day 3 of E3, still alive somehow.
all right, very cool. So yeah, now we're here at SOE. We're gonna see this stuff. We saw SOE.
We talked to Dennis Dyack.
Hey,
SOE.
Dennis Dyack.
hey.
Dennis Dyack.
That's a perfect opportunity to sign off.
I guess we already talked about all that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, we already talked about all that and somewhere else in this video. So hopefully you've seen that already. Otherwise, this is going to sound really weird when it then cuts to earlier in the day.
Hey,
SOE.
Dennis Dyack. But I trust Vinny as an editor.
Shit, piece of.
I didn't know you were practicing.
What else? I mean,
guys.
yeah, like we talked to Dennis Dyack.
Wow. Okay. Great.
Perpetual looping video.
Oh, I don't want.
Check out this interview with Dennis Dyack.
Hey, here we are, day 3 of E3, still alive somehow.
I don't want virtual me to have to constantly do the same thing. Oh, this day was long enough as it was. So yeah, I guess let's do kind of show-wide wrap-up here. How does everyone feel about E3 2008, Jeff?
Got to see some great games. Got to hear the games, and everything was in a relatively tight, compact space, so it was easy to get around and see stuff. So yeah, I could go for doing this again.
I don't know. About midway through this afternoon, I was talking to a PR contact, and I heard the rumor that it might be going back to the old thing next year.
And it was that EA thing last night. That Dell, we were talking to Dell, and he had that made the point that like gaming needs its con.
Yeah,
and needs its,
especially with like the Leipzigs and TGS is getting so big. It's like
right, and Leipzig's
nothing...
just not. Leipzig shouldn't be a major show.
I know,
really.
Why did we let them run away with it?
Yeah,
and
TGS shouldn't have ever been a major show for North American games.
Yeah.
It was for a little while there.
It's never going to be perfect, and it's never going to please everyone. But I know that E3 2008 definitely pleased me.
People pleasing people. Pleasing me.
Thanks for keeping them gobbling.
Yeah. Thanks for all that you do to keep them gobbling. See you next year.